Bismillah, alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. Continuing again with the chapter 21, the prophets, and continuing again with the story, the beautiful story, which is so many lessons can be derived from this story of Ibrahim or Abraham, alayhi salam. We stopped yesterday at when Ibrahim alayhi salam was talking to his people, and he says that these statues, Isa, Jesus, peace be upon him, cows, ram, all these kind of gods are not the true gods. All these gods, the statues, they're not the true gods. They're not the true gods we're supposed to worship. You're supposed to worship Allah. La ilaha illahu. Allah, la ilaha illahu. The King of the heaven and earth. That's what he's telling them. All these gods. And we said that they said, oh, our forefathers who were worshiping. He said, don't worry about what they worship. Look right now and try to investigate. Try to reach to the truth by yourself. Because you will be held responsible individually. You cannot do the blame game. You know, I because of this. No. Because no. In the court of law, somebody doesn't say, oh, I killed this guy or I killed this lady because of somebody else told me. Does it work in the court of law? No. You did the action. And this is exactly in reality, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the hereafter will hold each person who's not worshipping, who's not looking for the true message, the clear message, the pure message, the message which makes sense. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will hold him responsible, and he cannot play the blame game and say, my forefathers were Hindu, that's why I'm Hindu. My forefathers were Christians, worshipping Jesus, and that's why, or claiming Jesus the Son of God, or a God, and that's why I'm doing the same thing about Judaism, the same thing about Buddhism, the same things about Taoism, all these things, the same thing about atheism. That's unfortunately that's not going to help you. You have to look for yourself. You have to investigate for yourself, and you have to reach to the truth by yourself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then we proceeding with the story of Abraham. So then he said, "What? Let me teach these people a lesson." And this is when the iman, when the belief, when the guidance goes deep into the heart of the individual, he want to change his surroundings. He want to convey the message, the true message to everybody around him. Like we said, Abraham was like a flame, a candle, a huge candle, where he want that light he has in his heart to spread to everybody. So he said, let me do, when they leave out of town for a festival or whatever, let me see, I'll break these idols. And here, wasn't for just psychological, or he's trying to revenge from them. No, in this case, he was trying to, that's why he destroyed all the idols, all the statues, except the biggest one. He's trying to teach them logic here. And that's a very important. First thing, when he was able to question the sun, question the moon, question the star, he's trying to come with a logical explanation why he has to worship Allah, the creator of the heavens and the earth. Then right now he wants to use the same approach, logic. Same approach, logic, to tell his people, yes, let's see that's the big statue. Ask him, will he tell you what is the function or what happened to the small statues who he broke? So Abraham broke all the statues and he left the biggest one when they left town. He broke the all the statues into small pieces. فجعلناهم جداذا إلا كبيرا لهم لعلهم إليه يرجعون. So when they come, they will ask him. And of course, he's trying to do a logical argument here. It's a statue who doesn't help you, who's not the true God. Ask him. That's what he's telling his people. قالوا من فعل هذا. They came and they asked themselves, who did this? Who broke all our statues? من فعل هذا بآلهتنا إنه لمن الظالمين. Indeed, he committed injustice. Indeed, whoever broke down our statues into pieces, he committed a heinous, a bad action. قالوا سمعنا فتى يذكرهم يقال له إبراهيم. We remember in the past few verses that he was talking to the people about that this is, what are these statues you're worshiping? So they said, oh, we heard that there is one youth, one young boy. His name was Abraham. He was talking ill talk, bad things about these statues. قالوا فأتوا به على أعين الناس. Again, قالوا فأتوا به على أعين, bring him in front of everybody. لعلهم يشهدون. So they will witness. So they will witness what we will be doing to him. We will hold him responsible. We have to understand that when anything happens, the person who is committing injustice, a tyrant ruler, a tyrant government, a terrorist government, because now, individuals can be terrorists, yes, but governments also can be terrorists, and terrorist governments as well. What they want you to do, in order for them to stop somebody from propagating and somebody spreading the truth, they have to label him. And when they want to label him and cancel him from the culture, they want to make this as so strong, so potent that everybody will see. So he'll be an example basically to everybody else. So nobody can do the same action. And this is what happened with Abraham. Bring him in front of everybody. Let's gather the people. It's a public scene. Same thing with Moses. When the Pharaoh trying to challenge Moses, let's bring everybody so you can see. When he tortured the magician, he did this in front of everybody. Why? So everybody will learn a lesson. If you did this, that's what's going to happen to you. If you speak out, this is what's going to happen to you. If you try to protest genocides, if you try to spread the truth, if you try to expose the injustices happening in the society, that's what's going to happen to you. You'll be an example. You'll be destroyed. You'll be cancelled. And again, same thing the Pharaoh did. And same thing the people of Abraham, they're doing the same thing. Bring him. Let's see. قال بل فعله كبيرهم هذا فاسألهم إن كانوا ينطقون. Again, Abraham, he is telling them, look, he's doing his argument here. He's trying to talk logically, with logic. Ask the big statue, because you're saying that he can see. You're worshiping him, so you're worshiping something which is God, which has all kind of qualities, complete, perfect, and infinite. He has no deficiencies whatsoever. So he'll tell you, should tell you with a sign, should tell you with any way. فرجعوا إلى أنفسهم فقالوا إنكم أنتم الظالمون. Remember, when anybody and when somebody presenting a logical, a truthful argument, the truth will hate you, will hate that individual, will hate the person. He will think about it. But after a little bit, some people will be convinced, and on the other hand, others, after the truth will come to them, they will have a little doubts. The doubts started to come. Why is that? Because they will come, although the truth is so obvious, but they will come and say, oh, because this guy is Arab, because this guy speaks Arabic language, because this guy is white, because this guy is rich, because this guy, they will try to find anything which doesn't relate to the truth, to try to justify to themselves that rejecting the truth is okay, that rejecting the truth is fine. And that's a complete deception by the devil, the shaitan. The arrogancy, when the person arrogance, the shaitan, the devil, and jealousy and all these kind of qualities, the devil is trying to plant these qualities so the people will reject the true message. And this is exactly what happened. Initially they said to themselves, yeah, this guy makes sense. But after a while, they said, well, yeah, we know that they don't talk. So initially they had the inclination that he is the true, he's making the most logic, he makes the most sense. But after a while, the doubts came. Because that was an industry. There is a money going on. There is a business going on. Even Abraham's father, he was the one who makes the statues himself. So everything was a business. Weapons, US government, business. Conflict between nations, business. Worshipping this kind of God or this kind of God or Ram or Jesus or even all this is business. Committing hypocrisy, as a lot of Muslims right now committing hypocrisy. Business. And we have to be careful to understand the truth, to be able to see the truth and see this is hypocrisy. This is not the truth. This is not right. Because big scholars, big Islamic scholars have been bought. Money, mansions, cars. You have to approve the leader. Whatever the leader, even if he knows nothing about Islam. He knows nothing about belief and iman and belief. But you have to thumb up for him. He's okay. Because otherwise, you're not going to get the mansion. You're not going to get the money. You're not going to get the status. You're not going to be the sheikh or the imam or responsible for the big mosque. That's very, very important for us to understand that there is interest, there is businesses, there is interests. And that's why manipulation. When the truth comes, a lot of manipulation will start to happen. فقالوا قال أفتعبدون من دون الله ما لا ينفعكم شيئا ولا يضركم. Indeed, Abraham is making again his argument. Will you be worshipping things, these statues, these idols, which doesn't benefit you and it doesn't harm you? من دون الله And Allah min dunillah, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the King of the heaven and earth, He's the only one who's able to benefit people, and He is the only one who's able to harm people. أَفَلَا تَعْقُلُونَ. And logic. He's using logic. Don't you have a brain? Don't you have common sense? Don't you have logic to think about it? Now how is this happening right now in our life? People are blindly following the leaders who are calling for genocides, leaders who are calling for injustice, leaders who are calling for bigotry, people who are calling for religious, using religion as a form of manipulation, kills this group or label this group as a terrorist, or and that is what it is. Following a tyrant leader. You're following that leader. Other than this is a statue became for you. Following a religion which is not true, it became a statue for you. You're worshiping. Following money and forget about the truth, and forget about the reason for your existence. Because of money, because of business, because of the materialism, this is your statue which you're worshiping. أفتعبدون من دون الله ما لا ينفعكم شيئا ولا يضركم قل أف لكم ولما تعبدون من دون الله أفلا تعقلون. Then what is really the end for Abraham? What are they going to do to Abraham? Burn him. That's what his people, take them into Guantanamo Bay. Although most of these people are not even involved in any way, or open a Guantanamo Bay, and collect all these people outside of the United States territory, so we won't be subjected to the U.S. law, with no trial whatsoever, with no charges whatsoever. Burn them. Take these people who are talking against the government. Take these sheikhs and scholars and imams who are talking the truth, put them in jail. Arrest their families. Take these leaders who are saying these injustices, or this is wrong, or this is that. Take these leaders and make false accusations and put them in jail until they die. This is what's happening. This is the truth of the matter. This is Abraham. So it's a story repeating itself. قالوا حرقوا وانصروا آلهتكم. Yes, burn him and give victory to your nation. Nationalism. Give victory to your gods, Ram or Jesus or Moses or whatever. All these gods, false gods we make. إن كنتم فاعلين. If you want to take revenge for your gods. Then here is the most astonishing thing in this story. They made a huge fire. That fire, they will tell you, if a bird was flying over, it will be captured by the fire and go and being burned. They used some kind of tool to basically fly him over in the air so he can land in the fire. They strip him naked. They did this all to Abraham. That's why, you see, he was one of the father of the prophets. Because this is to give you the strength of the belief. The strength of the belief of this guy made him stand the fire. How stand the fire? So they got a tool, they throw him in the fire, And Allah have changed because this is one of His slaves. This is one of His slaves. This is one of His worshippers. This is one of His servants. He is the one who is talking to the people, explaining to the people the truth on behalf of God. Because God is not going to come on earth. God, He's not like us. God, He doesn't talk like us. He's something we cannot even, with our imagination, we cannot even know how He looked like. So Abraham is working on behalf of God. But God, He has all the keys around Him, all the keyboards. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have the keyboard for everything. He can push here, push there, He changed the physics. Allah here changed the physics of the fire. To make, instead of the fire being hot, He made it cold. Instead of the fire being destruction, Allah made it peaceful. So then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, Ya nar, O fire, be cool and peaceful on Abraham. So the physics has been changed. And the physics can change. Whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is trying to make His point and trying to send a sign, He will change the physics. He will change anything out of the ordinary to show the people that this is for. And still people will what? Will disbelieve. Because after this sign, after 40 days, Abraham been in the fire for 40 days, untouched, unharmed, and they got him out. He was fine, and he would make thanks to Allah, to God. After this big sign, what do you expect? You expect people to do what? To believe. Yes, Abraham, we believe in your God. Yes, this is what happened miraculous. No. They're still on their falsehood. They're still of their disbelief. And this is what's going to happen here. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, no. I'll save my slaves. I'll save my slave Abraham. And this is a lesson for everybody. When you become a slave on the right belief, slave of God, servant of God, Allah will save you from all the calamities, from everything in this life and in the hereafter. You'll be admitted to the paradise. Everlasting pleasure over there. فَجَعَلْنَاهُمُ الْأَخْسَرِينَ. And indeed, we made them the losers. They lost. They want to destroy him? They couldn't. There is a God who has the upper hand all the time. But what you see is just He's testing. Because when He want to throw people in the hereafter, in the hellfire, He has already the evidence. He has already the criteria. He has already the evidence. And people will say, yes, Allah, we did. Yes, God, we did it. Sorry. We accept your judgment. أقول قولي هذا استغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين